Just like we saw with nearly every Disney Star Wars project over the last several years, when the first season of Ahsoka came out, we saw so many of the people in the media praise Lucasfilm, praise Dave Filoni. Oh my gosh, it's going to be so incredible. This is amazing. The next best thing from Star Wars. And once again, it was an enormous disappointment for Disney and Lucasfilm. Not only did this season cost a fair amount of money, but it also disappointed when it came to the ratings. When it came to Ahsoka's ratings, despite them trying to get ahead and say, oh my gosh, it's the biggest thing that's ever premiered on this day for this streaming service in the history of Star Wars, it wasn't impressive. Ahsoka viewership was rather disappointing for them, as was eventually revealed by the Nielsen ratings. Ahsoka suffers weak finale viewership. Will season 2 even happen? Well, it is happening because it's Dave Filoni's baby. Ahsoka is Dave Filoni's wet dream, which is why it's so fucking depressing and disgusting if you actually like good writing or good stories. Because Dave Filoni is a hack and always has been a hack. And finally, people are seeing that for what he truly is. But when it comes to season 2 of Ahsoka, maybe things are different this time around. Not that I mean it's going to be a good story. It won't be. It's Dave Filoni. But maybe they weren't willing to pour quite as much money into this season after such a disappointing season 1. The reason I say this is because evidently we had a little bit of a pay dispute to bring somebody back to the show. Star Wars actor quits Ahsoka season 2 over pay dispute. Now, the person in question, Claudia Black, who played one of the Night Sisters, which, as an aside, I know maybe not a lot of people watching this are going to care. What we saw happen to the Dathomiri witches and the Night Sisters in general and all this stuff in Clone Wars, despicable. Absolutely disgusting. It sucks how Dave Filoni constantly bastardizes everything and turns out a worse product, but that's just what we see. Same thing that's happened over and over again with anything Dave Filoni's involved with. But that's an aside. Claudia Black will not return for Ahsoka season 2 over pay dispute. Deadline has confirmed that actress Claudia Black won't return for Ahsoka season 2. While promoting the new series Spartacus, House of Asher, Black was at, which also looks like it's going to be really cringe, by the way. Black was asked about the second season of the Disney Plus Star Wars series and said that while the show is renewed for another season and she was invited back, she won't be appearing. In Ahsoka season 1, Black played Clotho, one of the 3 mysterious Night Sisters who were aligned with villainous Grand Admiral Thrawn on Peridea. Check out her explanation at Deadline here. Here's the quote. And yes, it is Claudia Black from Stargate, by the way, if people were interested. Obviously, pretty easy to recast when this is the type of makeup you're wearing in general. Well, I'm going to be transparent. They picked up season 2, picked me up with it. And then Disney, which is structuring things differently these days, could not pay me what I needed to be paid as a single mother to keep all my responsibilities going at home in Los Angeles because they were filming in London. It was not something they could make happen, and therefore I had to bow out for season 2, which was very sad for me. She talks a little bit about the show, talks about how her son, who likes Clone Wars, which is very unfortunate for him, was excited because she was in the show, said was very sad to not be able to continue at the end of the day. They call it show business for a reason. It's like 90% business, 10% show. They could not, sadly, support a single mother, and I'm very sad about that. But I also understand market forces being what they are and the very delicate time in the business to even be able to afford to make anything at all. We all had to do our sums and move on. Now, what I think is the most interesting part of this entire quote is not that, a pretty minor character is not returning for season 2. What I think is interesting is how she phrases it about Disney and about the time in show business right now, right? Disney, which structures things differently these days, could not pay me what I needed to be paid. So what is the difference between what she was offered for the first season and the second season? And Disney, who's structuring things differently at a time where it's so hard to get anything made, does that mean that they realize they can't pour as much money into season 2 of Ahsoka as they did to season 1? Are they recalibrating because of the fucking failures? One, that would be a good thing for them at a business level. But it would also be indicative of exactly what anyone with a fucking brain has been saying this entire time. With what they're putting into these shows, they are not getting the outcome that they need to have. They're not getting the return on their investment that they need to have. And so now for season 2 of a show, which usually the numbers go up. The numbers go up for these people if it gets picked up for a second season. For all actors involved to come back and do another one. That's usually how it happens. Clearly not the case when it comes to Ahsoka Season 2. And personally, I think that this show would have gone the way of The Acolyte if it wasn't Dave Filoni in charge. But because Dave Filoni has so much power at Lucasfilm and has for years, as I've documented on my channel for years, this is his baby. There was no way he wasn't going to get a season 2 of his Princess Ahsoka, the person who has become, for all intents and purposes, the most important fucking character in Disney Star Wars. That is Ahsoka. The same Ahsoka Tano who George said that she would die during Order 66, that she would not make it past Order 66, that was the intent, was for that character to die. Dave Filoni did whatever the fuck he wanted, just like he's always done, regardless of whether it contradicts the books, the movies, George Lucas himself, anything. Dave Filoni will contradict it anytime he fucking wants. And so now he's got his wet dream, his pet project, his little fucking Princess Ahsoka that he shoves into everything and everywhere and will never let this bitch fucking die. That is now the most important character at the heart of Disney Star Wars. Congratulations, all you people that wanted Dave Filoni to have more things to do, wanted Dave Filoni to have more power. You got suckered. You're fucking retarded. You asked for that. Now here we are, and Disney Star Wars has never been at a worse place. But it looks like they might be being forced to tighten the purse strings a little bit to make Ahsoka Season 2 even happen.